Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back, and it is time for another Starcraft 2 1 vs 1 replay cast. We are gonna be having ourselves two of my favorite European Terrans. In the top left, we've got the guy everyone's talking about at the minute, and rightfully so. It's Liquid Clem. Liquid Clem, the guy, one of the big three, you could say, of souL, Raynor, and Clem. Most notably, most recently joining the contingent. But yeah, taking on Clem is gonna be my favorite Terran player. It's Cascade souL. souL posting better and better results lately. Everyone's known he's always been good, but he seems to be doing better in online tournaments, qualifiers, that kind of thing. Basically performing as you'd expect him to with his ladder rank, I'd say. But yeah, beating Clem is not going to be an easy thing. Clem is just on a tear lately. And so I thought, let's watch these two top Terrans duke it out. Is it going to be close? Or is it just going to be like a wash? Is Clem going to roll over souL? You never know. I'm still excited to check it out though. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to see more Clem, more souL, feel free to hit that like button, as it'll let me know that you guys want to see more of that content. If we can hit 50 likes on this video, that would be truly, truly, truly amazing. I was about to go full. It'll be amazeballs, guys, but no, we're not that kind of YouTube channel. Yeah. Anyway. As far as the builds are concerned, we've got variation here. Basically the main variation in TvT. One player going double gas, the other going for a Reaper expand. Both players scouting out, notably, to make sure there's no crazy cheese coming. And yeah, I'm actually gonna keep an eye on the way Clem's approaching this game, because I've always been scared when I play Terran in a TvT just to go for a Reaper expand, because of like all the evil possibilities that are out there for aggression from your opponent. For example, looks like souL might be going for a proxy starport this game with this SCV hiding out. And then we do see Clem coming on in. He's bringing his SCV to buffer for his Reaper. Is souL going to react in time? No, he's not. So Clem gets the first Reaper shot off. Clem's aim may be to try and assassinate the SCV of souL, but then again, souL committed to his double Reaper, off, seeing as how he went for double gas, and that's no surprise there. Yeah, that play from Clem is an interesting one if we really analyze it from a TvT perspective. Basically what Clem was doing there was that if souL was going for a mirror build and he went for just one Reaper, a Reaper expand right into a reactor, then basically using his SCV to bully the Reaper of souL away would mean that he could delay souL's command center. But souL clearly had made more than one Reaper since his CC was late, as he'd gone for a double gas play. And generally with double gas, you're gonna make more than one Reaper, it would seem. So in my mind, maybe if we get really analytical about this kind of stuff, maybe seeing the state of the command center, that should have been all Clem needed to see to say, alright, I'm just gonna back up. But then again, Clem could have just been, was there just hoping that souL had gone for the one Reaper. Yeah. Let's take a look here. souL runs his Reaper and Hellion around the bunker that Clem has gone for. Of course, this is a bit of a risky position, seeing as how these Reapers and the Hellions are kind of trapped behind the natural base. And with this Cyclone coming down, that's going to basically end the party here. And souL's going to be sacking a lot of these units. If we take a look, I mean, the Reapers are going to go down in the main base. They're not going to get any more damage done. The Hellions are going to try and escape. We see Clem trying to go for a block. souL saw the opportunity to try and get some of the SCVs. Great save by Clem, though, throwing them into that bunker. And all around, we're just seeing incredible play from both of these players. Clem's reaction to that, though, was really sharp. And losing the two Reapers and Hellion, quite expensive for souL, I think. Eventually, TvT, it gets to the point which those units really aren't significant at all. But to make that decision to throw them away so early seems like a bit of a bold move by souL. because of course you know the Terran, your opposing Terran is 99% of the time going to have a Cyclone out, so you knew it's just a matter of time for those units to go down. So that was a calculated decision there. We take a look, in comes the Raven, going to toss down an auto turret, try and get that medivac. That would be huge, and looks like souL's able to get it. The Cyclone also goes down to the turret, so it's really just a handful of Marines here. And yeah, souL should really be able to clean this up. He's trying to deal with the Cyclone that is natural while this is going on. He's got to be careful not to lose a high-profile unit like a Raven or something to it. But, I mean, souL defends Clem's attack there so far, and really that's just darn good for souL. He shut that attack down without really losing much of anything. I guess he did lose his own Cyclone somewhere in the chaos. But once again, it's that thing a player threw away units, didn't get too much done. And all in all, this TvT, it's that kind of comical thing in which case both players, despite taking very different routes or significantly different routes in the game, they both have got their third CC really close together. They're both going up in the Raven count. Looks like Clem has elected to go for a Banshee, no cloak notably on it, so it's just going for those kills. And that's actually going to be decent for him, based on the fact that he killed the Cyclone of souL. It's really difficult to deal with the Banshee when you've lost your Cyclone. Like, I don't know how Terrans even managed before the Cyclone was a thing. But yeah, this Banshee now going to be getting some good damage, and 5 kills is no joke. Can the turrets clean it up? Yes, they can. So that's good, but of course that cost auto turret energy. Delayed the 2 eBays a little bit, and got 6 SCVs, so all in all, a great position here for Clem. Not like a colossal lead or anything, but a comfortable position, you know? Okay, so we see souL just going to be throwing up a sensor tower at his third right away. Wants to not be caught off guard by anything. He's also getting up a turret in his main base, trying to cover those positions your opponent will drop. No upgrades started for him just yet, though, so he's behind on those quite a bit, notably as his eBays were delayed. souL is electing to go for a higher Viking count, whereas Clem's going for a higher Marine tank count. So these two players are going to be playing differently. It would seem that souL's going to be the more defensive player, although if he does get into a good position with an attack, it'll be rather lethal. So yeah, as Clem, you really just got to respect souL right now. Not make any blunders. Just continue on. And then look for a good opportunity that'll kind of bypass the Viking count, or the Raven count of souL. Alright, now we take a look here. We see ourselves more Vikings on the way for souL. One on the way for both players. 4th base on the way for both players. This goes to show the level of respect that these guys have for each other. If you think you can kill your opponent when you're on 3 bases, you're gonna do it. Neither of these guys thinks they're gonna be able to get lethal damage done. So yeah, just throw up the 4th base. Keep macroing up. Once again, Clem's command center slightly ahead of souL's, but a rather insignificant amount. Clem moving out with some Marines and Medivacs and a Raven, maybe going to be looking for an easy tank pickup, that kind of thing. That's what this screams to me. Enough Marines to stim down a tank, but not a big attacking force. So we may see Clem get some good pickoffs. souL's got to be careful with his Ravens and Vikings. Got to be oh so careful. And yeah, Clem scans ahead, seeing those 2 tanks there. If they were maybe a bit more exposed, maybe he'd toss down double interference matrix. The Vikings actually grab a Medivac. 2 Medivacs. That's a real nice pickoff there by souL. Medivacs are not cheap, and if you sleep on their production at all as a Terran, all of a sudden you can just have no Medivacs. Clem has been going gung-ho on the Medivac production, or been continuing on with the Medivac production, but currently he's just got 2. Now he's going to be up to 4, but 4 Medivacs for 52 Marines is not that good of a ratio. Would have been 6 to 52, which would have been better. souL scans the army of Clem, sees that it's coming in for an attack. souL gonna go out for this drop regardless. Clem repositioning his force constantly. I'm not sure what his play is gonna be here. Maybe just disable what souL has and then go for a huge attack in. But yeah, not gonna find much there. souL's actually gone for some Raven auto turret harassment, nabs himself 11 kills, 14 in total on this Raven. He's also got this drop going to be moving forward, bypassing the Marine of Clem. So far, this is looking real darn good for souL. Does souL unload his Marines? Yes, he does. He can potentially get a stim in towards the third base of Clem. Once again, souL picking off more units with his Vikings, but this time it's going to cost him. Going to be losing all the Vikings, it would seem. After getting this one medivac, the Marines do make it into the third, though. They're going to kill 6, 8, 9 SCVs, all in all, then getting the tank as well. So souL's drop doing really good for him. Clem's kind of containing him for now, but Clem leaves his tanks behind. If souL realizes, he could definitely jump on top of this. Clem is coming back with his units in time. souL, I don't think he's going to take this opportunity. He does disable all the tanks, so he is going to go for it. The Mad Lad tossing down auto turrets too, taking a pretty solid fight. But then Clem has got a lot of bio to fall back on. So souL just going to siege his tank, park his button position, and then just take the pretty solid trade. The Marines for souL out on the map, getting pushed away once again. And the game, I know that it's been already an action-packed 11 minutes here into the game, but if we do take a look, things aren't actually going that different in either way. I mean, we're seeing a skirmish go down right now, but whichever player loses will probably just fall back a bit and then remax. It's a little bit more scary for souL since he's fighting to secure up his fourth base, which is notably later than that of Clem's. But Clem's still got a ways to go if he's going to get a killing blow-off. He's repositioning himself now. And if we do take a look, one thing that did happen of significance was souL lost all of his Vikings, so he lost his air control. We're going to see a fight at the top of his ramp, potentially. An anti-armor missile hits almost everything that belongs to Clem, so souL may move forward trying to take a fight. He's thinking about it. He wants to take a good fight. He gets some good tank shots off, but he's going to lose a lot of his own Marines amidst all this chaos. Yeah, so souL pulls back those units. He's unsieging some of his tanks. He's going to reposition. Doesn't want to give a good opportunity to Clem. The drop on the other side of the map gets cleaned up. And these players have just been fighting non-stop. The fourth base of souL going to be under fire. His actual fifth base attempt was shut down. They're hard shut down too. Killed, not canceled. souL in more and more trouble as this game goes on, I'll say. 12 minutes into the game, you don't want your opponent kind of this close to you in TvT. It's a horribly uncomfortable feeling, and Clem has not been giving up this position. And all it takes is for Clem to get some Vikings in position to take one good fight, and then all of a sudden the game's over for souL. We do see souL going for double Liberator harassment. I really like this, actually. It's often an afterthought for Terran to deal with Liberator harassment, and it does require a high micro response to deal with Liberators. So that's actually all souL needs to push his opponent back. souL's got a good number of minerals in the bank. We'll see if he keeps spending that. He fires up his 3-3. Clem notably has forgot his +3 armor. Fusion core on the way, so we're going to be seeing mass air units for both players. souL's now moving out on the map. This TvT could be going late here. Yeah, souL going to have an upgrade lead down the line due to the 3-3, but then Clem's going to have one temporarily due to his +3 attack being done sooner. souL's been going for these drops, which I'll say is bold. It seems that dropping a player as good as Clem is difficult because he's not going to slip on his macros, so he's always got something going, but this was a mistake by Clem. Not being in position here to deal with this tank attack with the Marines, and all of a sudden he loses his fifth, while souL's got his own fifth base on location now, taking control of the game, and all of a sudden he's the player that's pushing into Clem. This drop going in, crazily dropping on top of the tanks at the third base. souL doing some really good harassment on Clem. Yeah, now let's take a look. souL kind of isolated with these units for now. We'll see if he's going to bring reinforcements in. He's actually just got to set up at his third base to defend this location from Clem. The tanks are set up. Clem's going to move on in. SCVs are being pulled preemptively. The army for souL isn't coming back to help deal with this, as it's mainly tanks. If the tanks can hold, though, that'll be fine for souL. Does he have reinforcements coming in to help out? Kinda. He's got to make sure those tanks do survive, otherwise things can all of a sudden just go wrong for souL. But then all of a sudden, instead of coming back, maybe as Clem expected, souL's just moving forward for the attack. He's getting on top of the fourth base of Clem. There's too many tanks here, I think, for SCVs to repair. All the while, a drop going on in this new base that Clem is trying to secure. Clem will save that one, but he's going to lose this one, and he did not get enough damage done on souL's side of the map. So things are actually starting to go souL's way. 2 Marines dropping once again. I'm not sure how much that's going to get done, but 17 SCVs have died. We see souL inching towards Clem. There is tanks in position that which will stall out souL. But, oh, Clem may be thinking of going for it here. Oh, but that hope is dashed there as souL snipes down that Raven, which is going to disable 1 or 2 of the tanks. Viking cleans up those tanks. We see souL now moving south with this army here. The scary thing about tanks in TvT is that you can fight with a much smaller army if you get into proper positioning. And this is what we're seeing right now. souL going to be getting his tanks into position. He's got a decent number of Marines to support this, so we're going to have to see Clem dive on in on top of these 2 tanks here as Marines are doing what they can. Looks like a pretty good fight for souL, though. The tank's not even getting cleaned up means that this base is going to be under hard siege. So souL double sieging Clem, and all of a sudden, it's looking mighty rough for Clem. He never made Liberators to push this back, and his tanks weren't in proper position to push back either of these fronts. So we are seeing Clem trying to make Ravens to help out here, but Ravens take so long to build, it seems, in this situation, and you need a huge number of them to take a proper fight to really dictate it. Then, of course, there's Vikings here. So we're going to see Clem try and take one more fight here, try and break down these tanks. It looks like he will get them, it would seem, but huge losses all around for the Blue Terran player, for the Team Liquid Terran, and then souL with his own Liberators is able to push towards the natural, and souL actually takes down Clem in a TvT, or at least he took this map off him anyway. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for tuning on in. I feel my voice dying right at the end of the cast there. So yeah, leave a like if you enjoyed this cast, as I'm still on the mend, kinda. I should really just take a longer break, but I don't want to. I've already taken a long enough break, darn it. But yeah, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Discord, which is linked down below. Consider becoming a member if you want to support the cast. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for tuning on in.